Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Sin, and I'm back up in this with another video. Okay, so as y'all can see from the title, this is going to be my labor and delivery story, and as y'all can see, your girl is in the same attire because I'm getting these videos out, so I'm not playing with them. Okay, 2024, different year, different me. Okay, so it's gonna be my labor and delivery story time on how my baby like stopped breathing. Like, I don't want to say almost died, even though technically that's probably what it was, but I'm gonna just say she stopped breathing, right? So first, if you're new to this channel, my name is Sam and I rap. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a daughter who just made 3 in November, and I have 1 on the way. I currently do not know the gender, waiting on the gender as we speak. Make sure y'all follow me on all my social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Pretty much that's just it. Y'all can follow me on Snapchat, but I don't be on Snapchat. I don't even know why I made a new Snapchat, because I really don't be on Snapchat. But anyway, so yeah, make sure y'all like tune into my social medias, like my Instagram, or at least my community tab on here, because I be doing polls on like the up and coming story times or what type of content y'all want to see. So I really take y'all vote into consideration. And if there's not too many votes or not any votes at all, I just pick what I think people would like to see or what I want to talk about. So yeah, so now that that is over with, let's just get into the video. So I had my daughter, I can't remember how many weeks I was. I think I was like 39 weeks when I gave birth to her. I know I was not 40 weeks at all. When I gave birth to her, my doctor was asking me, and I, mind you, I had a male doctor. I don't know why I went to this doctor. Okay, I wanted to follow my sister because my sister was like, oh, go to my doctor, go to my doctor. Da, 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 da. Never had a male doctor in my life, and I'm not going back to a male doctor. My doctor right now is a female, and I should have kept it like that. And before that, I should have kept my black female doctor that I had prior to getting pregnant with Viney, because he just was not there for me, and I just don't know why. It just, like I said, my sister. So anyways, I'm not gonna put the full blame on her, but yes, I had a male doctor, a male white doctor. He was kind of older. I want to say maybe in his 60s. He probably was not that old. I want to say like 50s, late 50s, something like that, right? So went to this male doctor my whole trimester, like my whole pregnancy and stuff like that. He had asked me if I wanted to get induced, and I was like, no, I don't want to get induced, because I was like, I want her to come, you know, when she's ready to come, because I want to experience the full water breaking, rushing to the hospital type thing, right? So I didn't want to get induced. But about a week later, for the next, because you know, you go every month at first, right? And then once you get closer, I'm sorry, y'all, I was feeling a little lightheaded, but once you get closer to your due date, you go every week. So at this point, I was going every week. So he asked me the week prior if I want to get induced. I said no. That next week, I told him, I said, I think I want to get induced. So he's like, okay, we're gonna set up the induction date. You need to go get COVID tested and do all this and do all that, because COVID was big at the time. So we couldn't have nobody in the hospital. We had to have a small baby shower because nobody was allowing like hella people, like over a certain amount of people in their establishments, like in their event places and stuff like that. So yeah, so he was like, you need to get tested for COVID. So I remember it was my great niece. Oh my god, y'all, that sounds complicated, but I have nieces and nephews older than me. But it was my great niece. Is it great niece? I don't know. I'm gonna say great niece. It was my great niece. Yeah, it's my great niece. It was her first birthday, right? I had to leave and I had to go get COVID tested. So we get to the COVID test spot, and nobody's there. And I'm like freaking, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to get COVID tested, because it was he didn't really give that much detail. It was in the back of the building. It was like a drive-up COVID spot. So when we drove up, it was not nobody there. Like, they was not there. They wasn't doing the drive-up COVID testing. So I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm crying and stuff. My mama like, it's okay, you gonna have her, just, you know, stop stressing, blah blah blah, we gonna figure it out. So we had to go in the building in the front, and I had to like actually go in and get the COVID test. So once I had got the COVID test, because the plan was to go in and get induced on a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. So the plan went well. Packed my stuff. Baby girl room was already ready. Like her room was already, I already nested and had her room ready for her. I had basically everything ready for her. I had my bag packed with buku stuff, but I'll talk about that another day about that. But everything was packed. We was ready to go. So induction day come and they had me bathed. I don't know why, but he gave me this soap, right? That I had to bathe with like a couple hours before going into induction. So they told me like literally an hour or two before going in to get induced to bathe, like take a shower with that. So I took a shower with that soap or whatever, and then got dressed, got ready for induction. My mommy couldn't come, which was kind of sad. Like nobody could come, nobody could visit us because of COVID. It was just terrible, right? Already because of that. So we get there, we're chilling in the garage waiting for the induction time. I might insert pictures and videos because I have pictures and videos, I think videos from that day and that moment of us sitting in the car chilling, waiting for us to go up in there. So then we finally go up in there, and oh, before all of this, y'all, I thought I was due like a month before. Went to the hospital, wasn't due, just was dehydrated, blah, blah, blah. So for my induction day, we went in, and my man, he came in. Oh, am I telling you right? Because it was one moment, I feel like I'm confusing that moment. I went to the hospital and it was false alarm because I was waiting for him. Okay, yeah, because that was the emergency room moment. Okay, yeah, so I told him I was getting induced, and then they brought me up to the floor, and I feel like he had to do something. I don't know. So we get up there, we get to the room. I tell him I'm checking in for me. Yeah, he was with me. Yeah, because I remember walking up to the desk, and they get our room ready. And first of all, the hospital didn't really like it. Like, it didn't really give the vibes, okay? It didn't give the vibes, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because it was a full white staff, right? Which was fine because my nurses that I had was really nice. They had my first nurse that I had. Was it my first nurse? I think it was my very first nurse that I had through that night. She was so nice and so sweet. The second one, she was all right, but she wasn't as nice and sweet as the one that I had, but I didn't stay too long with her. So we get into that Wednesday. They get me in the room, this, that, and the third. I get into my gown and things of that nature. My man, he plugged up his game, all this other extra stuff. So after a while, because she was like, once you get to a certain amount of centimeters, you're gonna have to let me know whether you want to get the epidural or not, because once you get to a certain amount of centimeters, I can't give you the epidural. So I'm like, oh shit. So time going past, and I was like, I can't remember. I want to say I was like 3 or 4 centimeters. Like, I went pretty long before I decided to get the epidural. It wasn't that long, but it was pretty long. So then I decided I want the epidural. So they came in the room. They asked my man to step out while they gave me the epidural. And so they was giving me the epidural. And they're like, oh, do you know that you have, because it was the nurse, my nice nurse, and then it was the lady administering the epidural. And she was like, the lady that was doing the epidural, she was like, do you know you like have I forgot what it's called, but like a crooked spine? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been knowing since like I was in elementary school or whatever. So, and I wonder if that has something to do with my mom falling with me when she was pregnant with me. She fell down some stairs when she was pregnant with me. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, I have that. So they're like, okay, I want you to keep really, really still while I do this, because, you know, you have a crooked spine. I don't want this. And then I don't want it to go, basically, she don't want the medicine to go only to one side more than the other side. Like, she wanted it to be even and stuff like that. So I'm getting scared because, first of all, I'm already afraid of needles. And then I'm already afraid of stuff with my damn spine. I'm already afraid of it. So I'm scared. But the nurse, she did really good job. Like, she held my hands. Like, I'm holding the fuck out of her hands because I'm scared. Like, my mama not here, my man's the only one here. Like, this is not okay. So I'm holding her hands. I'm like, oh my god, but I'm trying to like keep still, you know, so she could get this right. It felt like it took them forever to give me an epidural, right? So she finally gave me the epidural, and then I think they gave me the catheter after that. Now let me tell you, one thing that I can say about the women that do natural births is that at least they don't have to get a catheter. I did not like the feeling of the damn catheter. Now, once the epidural kicked in, I didn't really feel it that much. But when it was first in there, it felt really uncomfortable. And then them putting it in is really uncomfortable. Now, if you don't know what a catheter is, it's basically like a tube. Like, it's like a small tube, maybe the size of this or so. Probably a little smaller, or maybe it's about the size of this. They stick it in your pee hole. So not your vagina hole, but literally the hole that you pee out of. So they stick it in there, so because when you get epidural, you cannot move. You cannot get out the bed. You can't walk here. You can't do that. You have to just stay in the bed that whole time until you had a baby, right? So they put that in, so as you pee, like, it goes straight into this bag, and then every once in a while they'll come and take the bag, put another bag, and then like that type thing. So didn't like that. Not too ecstatic about going through that process again because I did not like it the first time. So they did all that, had the epidural. My man came back in. We chilling, we vibing. Another thing that was a red flag, I had long nails. Probably not gonna do that again. Well, I'm not gonna do that again with this baby. Not gonna have long nails, okay? So anyway, so because I was not looking at myself this whole time. I'm a Barbie girl. Okay, let me stop. So we was chilling, we was vibing that whole time. They was checking my what you call that? They was checking my like how long I was dilated and stuff. They was checking my cervix, so every now and then. So and then I couldn't eat nothing. Well, I didn't eat nothing. I think I just had water, and that's about it. So my doctor comes. Now, we got induced, like our induction time I think was like for 3 o'clock, right? Mind you, this was 3 years ago, child, so excuse me if some stuff wrong, but I think it was for like 3 o'clock. So we was there, and I got in the bed, and all the epidural and stuff was probably like that night, right? So then that next day, like earlier that next day, mind you, I couldn't keep up with nothing because it was like a fucking jail in there. There was no windows. There was no windows. But this hospital I'm going to now, there's windows and stuff like that. So it should be a breeze. But there was no fucking windows. So I couldn't see nothing. I didn't know what time it was except for checking my phone. And I don't think I was checking my phone like that. Like, I mostly was watching House on my laptop and stuff like that. So my man was sleeping a lot. The problem came in when I think the next day before he broke my water, because he broke my water to speed up the process, right? The problem came in the next day. There was this really rude nurse. She was black. She was the only black girl, and she was like she didn't want to do this. Like, it just was. When that lady said, you bitches in the nurse field are fucking terrible, she wasn't lying. And they all gonna get her fired because y'all knew she was telling the truth. Okay, clock it, okay? Because that's the truth. And I've been knowing that since before, like in high school. A lot of you motherfuckers, and I'm not gonna, if it's not towards you, then it's not towards you. If it's not towards somebody you know, it's not towards somebody you know. But if a shoe fits, wear it. If you get offended, that means that it is you, or it is the person that you know that's a nurse. A lot of y'all be having these nasty ass, shitty ass attitudes and be having to deal with these people that come to the hospital for care and be sick. Why would you get into a health field with poor, like, you're supposed to have top of the top customer service, ho? And you gonna become a nurse just to be like, just to be mean-spirited, just to be like, when you think nurses are supposed to be some of the sweetest, kindest, loving people, and y'all be getting these jobs just because of the money. Clock it. Just because of the money. and don't even really be caring. Like, y'all don't even like people for real, for one. Y'all don't like taking care of people. Y'all don't even have care, empathy, sympathy, none of that in y'all body. Y'all don't even really genuinely care about helping people. Y'all just do it because of the money, and be putting that nasty, evil, nasty, just nasty vibes onto y'all patients. That's not okay. But let's get into it. It was this black girl. She was the only black girl. And then it's a shame it was a black girl. It was the only black girl. She acted like she didn't want to do her fucking job. She was leaving. She kept saying stuff under her breath. Then she was sitting out on her phone. So it was a problem with her, right? So the next day, my doctor came, and he broke my water. Boom. He broke my water. Pow. Right? Speed up the process. Mind y'all, I'm pressing the fucking epidural thing, right? I'm pressing it. Now, this could have been affected too, but I'm pressing it. And she was like, if you keep pressing it, she was like, it's a certain amount of times I could press it within an hour, right? And after the limit, it's not going to let me press it anymore during that hour or whatever, right? So I'm pressing it, blah, blah, blah. You able to feel it? Like, in the beginning, I was able to feel like the coldness, you know, with every medicine or IV or something like that, you could feel the coldness of it. So after a while, that went away, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pressing it because I didn't want to feel nothing giving birth. I did not want to feel a mother clucking thing giving birth. I didn't want to feel nothing, okay? So I'm pressing it. So he comes in the next day. So this is Thursday, I believe. He came in Thursday, and he broke my water, like Thursday morning, like early Thursday, he broke my water, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Thursday night? I don't know. But he came in, he broke my water. Boom. Not too long after the man broke my water, I don't know if it was an hour later, I don't know. But and thank God my nurse was up in there. My nurse came in to check my vitals and stuff. Like, she's on the computer looking at stuff, checking stuff. So I'm laying back, like, you know, because you be reclined in the bed. I'm laying back, and all of a sudden I felt like buku weight on me. Like someone was sitting on me, like gravity, like all the weight of gravity just came on me. And my first thought was, I'm about to die. Like, it felt like I was about to stop breathing. And I don't play with my life, okay? I don't. So as soon as that happened and I felt that weight, I sat up. Like, I was like, I sat up. Because I'm like, you ain't about to like smush me in my lungs. I can't breathe type stuff. You're not about to do that. Okay, so I sat up so I could like breathe or whatever. So I immediately sit up, and I'm telling him like, I can't breathe. Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't breathe. So she leaves out and get all the rest of the nurses. It had to be about like 6 nurses up in there that day. Maybe 5. I don't know. It was between 5 and 6 nurses. So they had the black girl. Now, I don't know if she was, I'm going to say there was another black nurse who seemed like she was the head nurse because she was watching them do everything. And then the rest was just white nurses. So it was like maybe 3 or 4 other white nurses. My main nurse who was with me that time. And then like 3 or 2 other extra nurses. Then they had the black girl. And she was young. She looked like she was around my age at the time. Or maybe a little bit older. But she didn't want to do nothing. So she came in. Now, mind you, my baby life is on the line. My life is on the line. I wish I knew that whole name, because I should have wrote a complaint about her. I should have really wrote a complaint about her, and I should have got her fucking ass fired, because they was looking for her. Because somebody had brought up, like, where is she at? And they was like, I don't know, she's up in there on her phone. Like, they was complaining about it. They was like, she's on her phone. She's out. And she was outside. She was sitting outside the door on her phone, not doing her job. Because she didn't want to. And she stated that. She didn't feel like what? Like, how you gonna work in a maternity ward and then not want to child? So the black nurse, she seemed like, well, the other black nurse, she was like an older lady, maybe in her 30s, 40s. She was like, I guess their head nurse or whatever, watching them. So they had to lay me back. Well, did they lay me back? I think they laid me back. And they had to move my belly around. They had to move my belly around, They moving the baby, shaking the baby. They trying to wake her up. So, but they're not saying nothing. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what's wrong with my baby? Like, is she okay? Is she breathing? What's wrong? So the lady, like, one of the nurses was like, she's not breathing, but she's okay. And I'm just like, she's not breathing. Like, she's not moving. And I don't want to be that person, because I was just up in my other video If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Story time on how I found out I was pregnant again this time, and footage of me telling my man. I said in that video, a lot of people don't understand certain situations until they go through it, and they be saying a lot of harsh things, and they never been in that situation. Like, the baby not moving, da 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 da. I'm like, oh my God, like, what's going on? So the black nurse, the what I call the main nurse, I forgot what I called her. Oh my God, pregnancy brain. What is she? Basically, she was like their boss, right? She's just standing there looking. She's just looking, and I'm looking at her because I was trying to figure out why she was just standing there the way she was. But then I realized after the fact that she was like, you know, the main nurse that was like watching them or whatever, right? So the black girl gone. They like, where is she? What is she doing? Da 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 da. She's in the hallway. She don't give a fuck. My baby life is on the line. It's some bullshit. It really was some bullshit. So finally, after them shaking me and turning me this way, turning me that way, doing this and doing that and doing that, it maybe was 5 minutes. It probably was longer. I don't know. It felt long, but it could have been 5 minutes type thing. She started breathing again. So after that, everything was fine. Everybody leave. They make sure I'm okay. Watch my vitals. Well, the main nurse that was with me, she makes sure she checked my vitals. Da da da. Everything was fine after that. But it's just really messed up how in a critical time like that, where she was like the most useful, she was the less useful, if that makes sense. Like the time where her presence was like most useful to the situation, she acted like she didn't give a fuck. My baby stopped breathing, and it was really scary because, oh, that's what I was about to say. It took me so long to realize that I was about to say pregnancy brain. Okay, so I know I said in my last video that people be saying stuff and they don't understand the situation until they in a situation, da, 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 da. But I kind of sort of was in a situation, and I was pregnant. I'm pregnant again, and I just want to talk about this. You know how there's some women, now it's like 1%, 2%, maybe 3% of women out there. It's not a large percentage of them. Some women sit there and say, I didn't know, like they would have a stillborn. Now I don't know how some of them stillborn situations work. I'm gonna attest to that. I'm gonna put my hand up. I attest to that. I don't know if like they baby be fine, and then when they go give birth, in between the time of them giving birth and like them actually pushing the baby out and the baby coming out, they be stillborn. I don't know, but I don't know how that go. But I'm gonna talk about some other stuff. I don't understand how, and that's kind of stillborn situation too, but I don't understand how some of these women, babies could be in a womb not breathing for ample enough of time. Mind you, like I said, and if you know, you know, you go to the doctor once a month until you hit, I want to say 30 weeks or 30 something weeks, right? Then from that point on, it's every week, right? But before that, it's every month. In between that, if you're going to the doctor, once you start feeling your baby move at 20 weeks or a little more or a little less, depending on what pregnancy it is and who it is, da 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 da, you could track your child. And this is what I did. You could track your child, make sure your baby is okay by paying attention. Like, I knew when Bonnie was gonna move. I knew the times that she move. Like, she'll move late at night, like around 10, 11 o'clock at night, she'll start moving. She'll move at 5 o'clock in the morning, waking me up once she got bigger, trying to stretch and all that. And she was hungry, child. We were hungry, okay? So, yeah, but I don't understand how women could go and not, like, know that, because, like, I knew every time that Bonnie would move and everything. I know, like, she would move when I ate stuff that she liked. Like, she would move constantly, you know? Or, like, her dad would shake my stomach sometimes and cause her, like, wake her up so she could move and stuff. Or, like, just to irritate me because she would start moving. So, I really don't understand how women don't feel like how they could go so long without noticing that something is wrong with their baby. Like, you didn't feel your child move that whole time, and you didn't feel like you should go to the ER or call your doctor. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. But I just be like how could you not be alarmed? You know, because sometimes people be having stillbirths and it's been a while, you know? Or maybe like they a while, meaning like they wouldn't know something is wrong until they go to their next doctor's appointment. And that's kind of alarming, because it's like you're not paying attention to your child's movements. Like, you wouldn't pay attention. Oh, I know my baby moves this time, I know my baby moves that time, I know this, I know that. Or just checking. I downloaded a app that was able to let me listen to my baby heartbeat. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna comment on it, but I'm just saying. So I'm like, my child is really, oh, and my point of saying that is because when she stopped breathing, my stomach felt different. Like, it felt like a ball, like it felt like a lump. It just felt like something was just sitting in there. Like, I don't know if it doesn't make, you wouldn't know how it feels until you go through it. And God forbid that happens to anybody else, because it was really a traumatizing experience. But she just felt weird. My stomach just felt different. Like, it felt like she wasn't okay. So I don't understand how that could happen to people and they wouldn't go seek some type of medical attention or something like that. But anyway, that's just what I want to say. My stomach felt different also when she stopped breathing. Like, I felt that urge, like I couldn't breathe, and I sat up. And then from that moment on, especially when it was like moving her and stuff, it just felt like a lump was in my belly. Like, it just felt like something was just sitting in there. It didn't really, so that was really traumatizing. But she ended up started breathing again, and everything was fine after that. And I gave birth to her November 19th at 3:11 p.m. and it just was beautiful. She came out holding her head up. Like, what baby you know? Like, at first she was just like, she was being so dramatic to me, but she was so cute, and she was holding her head up like she just was so happy to see the world. Like, she just was so ready for knowledge, and that just makes me feel good. And I knew once she did that, well, I knew period that she was gonna be smart, but she's really exceeding my expectations of smart. Like, I told y'all in the last video, go watch it. I told y'all in the last video my how I found out I was pregnant with this baby story time, that she knows how to spell her name now. And she just made 3 weeks ago now. It's been like 3 weeks now, and she know how to spell her name. Like, get it, girl. But she's just so smart, and there's so much other stuff that she does, but she's so smart, and she's like the biggest blessing, and she's so excited to be a big sister. And like I said before too, like, she's a big sister now. Like, that's all she says, like, with everything is, I'm a big sister now, because I'm a big sister now. And she's so excited. And I had bought some books to help her with the big sister journey and the sibling journey and stuff. I mean, not bought, oh Lord, I got some books from the library to show, like, to help her with that journey or whatever. It's only 3 because I was only able to really find 3, but I'm gonna go back, return these probably later this week, if not next week, and then I'm gonna go get some more. But yeah, so that's my labor and delivery story. After that, everything was pretty fine. We got changed to our I don't know what room is called, like recovery room. I don't know what room it is, but we got changed to that room, which was small AF. Okay, it was so freaking small, and it had a little bitty window, and we was just chilling there for I think like a full day. And then that next day my doctor came, and he was like, if her pediatrician says that everything is okay, like, and if everything come back fine, then y'all could leave. I think he said that same day or the next day or something like that. I can't remember, but we ended up leaving, and my baby girl is just everything. So that's my story time on my labor and delivery. was crazy. Hopefully my team is better with this baby. Not hopefully, I'm gonna pray it is, but I feel like it is, because my doctor, she's so informative and she seems like she cares. Like, she asked me the same, but I know I'm gonna get so tired of her asking the same question, but she asked me the same question because I'm low-key high risk, because I have RH negative. Like, I'm RH negative, my blood type is O negative, right? So when I get pregnant, my blood could fight off my baby, like start attacking my baby, thinking that it's a parasite or some infection or something like that, and like kill my baby. So we have to watch that. So she constantly asks me, like, is there any bleeding, is there any cramping, is there any this, is there any that, because of that. And then I also told y'all, I think at the beginning of this video, or maybe last video, I think it was my last video, my how I found out I was pregnant with this baby. I said how I got my blood pressure monitor, and I have to track my blood pressure, which I haven't did in a couple days, and I need to do that, and I'm probably gonna do that after this video. But yeah, so she be really worried about that. So, oh yeah, RH negative. So that's what happens. It can potentially happen, right? So to prevent it from happening, you usually, like, if you start bleeding out, so she always asks me that, because if I start bleeding, then she have to administer the shot right away to help prevent that, like to stop that from happening, right? But also, if everything goes fine, everything goes perfectly smooth with the whole pregnancy, at the end, once you give birth, you have to get administered that shot, just to make sure that everything with your body is okay, like everything go back to regular. And also just to make sure that in the future, with your future pregnancies, it doesn't happen, like your blood don't fight off your fetus type situation. So after I had Viney, I had got that shot. I didn't have it during my pregnancy, but I did get it after I gave birth or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, let me know if y'all want me to do a story time on the recovery process, because that was quite interesting. Nothing too bad, but it was quite interesting. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but that's really all I have to say. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media so that y'all could vote on what y'all want to see next, or just keep up with me. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye.